Will Cinderella be okay today? I hope so. Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a very pretty girl. Sadly, when she was young, her mother died. Her father remarried, but the girl's stepmother was a mean woman with two ugly daughters. These stepsisters were so jealous of the young girl's beauty that they treated her like a servant and made her sit among the cinders in the kitchen. They called her Cinderella, and before long everyone, even her father, had forgotten the poor girl's real name. Cinderella missed her real mother more and more each day. One day, an invitation arrived from the royal palace. The king and queen were holding a ball for the prince's 21st birthday, and all the fine ladies of the kingdom were invited. Cinderella's stepsisters were very excited when their invitations to the ball arrived. "I will wear my red velvet gown," cried the first stepsister, "and the black pearl necklace that mother gave to me." "And I will wear my silk blue dress with a silver tiara," cried the other. "Come, Cinderella," they called, "you must help us to get ready." Cinderella helped her sisters with their silk stockings and frilly petticoats. She brushed and curled their hair and powdered their cheeks and noses. At last she squeezed them into their beautiful ball gowns. But even after this, the two ugly stepsisters were nearly as lovely as Cinderella in her rags. This made them very jealous and angry, and they began to tease Cinderella. "Too bad you can't come to the ball, Cinders," sneered her first stepsister. "Yes," laughed the other one, "they'd probably never let a shabby creature like you near the palace." Cinderella said nothing, but inside her heart was breaking. She really wanted to go to the ball. After her stepsisters left, she sat and wept. "Dry your tears, my dear," said a gentle voice. Cinderella was amazed. A kind old woman stood before her. In her hand was a sparkly wand that shone. "I am your fairy godmother," she told Cinderella, "and you shall go to the ball." "But I have nothing to wear. How will I get there?" cried Cinderella. The fairy godmother smiled. The fairy godmother asked Cinderella to fetch her the biggest pumpkin in the garden. With a flick of her magic wand, she turned into a golden carriage and the mice in the kitchen mousetrap into fine horses. A fat rat soon became a handsome coachman. Cinderella could not believe her eyes. Smiling, the fairy godmother waved her wand, and once more Cinderella was dressed in a beautiful ball gown. On her feet were sparkling glass slippers. "My magic will end at midnight, so you must be home before then," said the fairy godmother. "Good luck." When Cinderella arrived at the ball, everyone was dazzled by her beauty. Whispers went round the ballroom as other guests wondered who this enchanting stranger could be. Even Cinderella's own stepsisters did not recognize her. As soon as the prince set eyes on Cinderella, he fell in love with her. "Would you do the honor of this dance?" he asked. "Why, certainly, sir," Cinderella answered, and from that moment on he had only eyes for Cinderella. Soon the clock struck midnight. "I must go," said Cinderella, suddenly remembering her promise to her fairy godmother. She fled from the ballroom and ran down the palace steps. The prince ran after her, but when he got outside, she was gone. He didn't notice a grubby servant girl holding a pumpkin. A few mice and a rat scurried around her feet. But there on the steps was one dainty glass slipper. The prince picked it up and rushed back into the palace. "Does anyone know who this slipper belongs to?" he cried. The next day, Cinderella's stepsisters could talk nothing but the ball and the beautiful stranger who had danced all night with the prince. As they were talking, there was a knock at the door. "Cinderella," called the stepmother, "quick, jump to it and see who it is." Standing on the doorstep was His Highness, the prince, and a royal footman who was holding the little glass slipper on a velvet cushion. "The lady whose foot this slipper fits is my one and only true love," said the prince. "I am visiting every house in the kingdom in search of her." The two stepsisters began shoving each other out of the way in their rush to try on the slipper. They both squeezed and pushed as hard as they could, but their clumsy feet were far too big for the tiny glass shoe. Then Cinderella stepped forward. "Please, your highness," she said shyly, "may I try?" As her stepsisters watched in utter amazement, Cinderella slid her foot into the dainty slipper. It fitted as if it were made for her. As the prince gazed into her eyes, he knew he had found his love, and Cinderella knew she had found hers. Cinderella and the prince soon set a date to be married. On the day of their wedding, the land rang to the sound of the bells, and the sun shone as people cheered. Even Cinderella's nasty stepsisters were invited. Everyone had a really wonderful day, and Cinderella and her prince lived happily ever after. The end. Hope you liked that one. I'll see you soon. Bye, Tom.